Hi, this is Sarah Mikesell with Pigsite, and today we're joined by two guests, Giovani Trevisan and Daniel Linhares. They are both with the Swine Disease Reporting System, so here in the United States. So thanks so much to both you guys for being with me today. And we need to let everyone know that we are at the Leman Swine Conference, and we're actually at the pre-conference on Sunday, where a lot of research and a lot of data is kind of exchanged between amongst veterinarians and industry. So it's been a really exciting day. And today we talked about PEDV, and I wanted to ask you both to kind of give us some highlights from your presentation. That was kind of a joint presentation. And so Daniel, we're going to start with you to talk a little bit about PEDV in the U.S. and kind of how widespread it is, et cetera.
Yeah, so happy to be here. Thanks for the opportunity. This morning was a discussion on PED situation in the U.S. Should we control? Should we eliminate? And our talk here, Giovani and mine, were to share from the SDRS perspective what's going on.
Right.
Just a quick reminder, SDRS is a consortium sharing diagnostic data from 6 different labs here in the U.S., right? And then we compile those and share the information with. It's sponsored by SHIC, right? The foundation of the project, and also has some funds from USDA for specific research projects there. But anyways, going back to the situation of PD based on the SDRS data, is what we found is PD has a strikingly and repeatedly kind of seasonal pattern,
Right.
going up in the winter, down in the summer, and now we're towards the end of the summer where it's in the valley, not in the peak, but so that's a good news. The bad news is that it's starting, those last few weeks is starting to trend up, especially in growth finishing pigs, and there are there are some hot spots, and Giovanni is going to talk more about that. Some hot spots, regional hot spots of PD activity as we speak.
Very good. And before we leave you, Daniel, the report that you guys put out it comes out on a very regular basis, right? And you're sending that out, and people can sign up for that email if they want to receive it, right?
Yeah, it's very cheap. No cost. It comes out every second Tuesday of each month. So
Right.
religiously, right? We're in the working on the report 65, and so anybody interested, they could either go to the SHIC website or to the SDRS website and ask to be included in the newsletter. They
Okay.
could be receiving either the PDF report or the audio report where we summarize what's going on in a short conversation every month.
Very good. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to switch over to you, Giovanni, and pick up where Daniel left off.
So as Daniel mentioned, this is the period of the year that we start to see that the detection is that in the valley. But right now in August and September, we start to see that these activities start to occur in breeding herds. And that is not expected for this time of the year. It's expected a little bit further down the road, but it is starting to occur. And when we look for that at the regional level, there was some detection that was going on in North Carolina, Missouri, but now it started to pop up in Iowa. So as that's occurring, is a red flag that as we go towards the winter time, that may become to be a problem again. And one of the things that we have in SDRS is the capability of looking for both adult sow farm and also for the growing sites. And the growing sites has higher activity, so there is a dependence that occurs that are interrelated, and we may see that ignite the detection there. At a regional level, we look for Central Iowa, East, Southwest, Central East regions there, and there is different in parts of detections there for PED that we are really get the boots on the ground of providing that information for the clients now and going forward for include that in the reports in the future about how is this pattern of detection to provide better information for the clients. One of the information that they ask also is, well, how is the detection of the PD variants that indel and non-variants, and we are also exploring that data to bring for your stakeholders in the future, and we're having a meeting with the advisory board today that they are going to sit for the first time that data and bring their opinions and how we can present that for the industry.
Very good. And how do they use that information? How are they, they get this information, the participants that are part of your program. Is that really just to say, hey, we need to be on alert more so if we see a flare up in our area?
So if we provide this information, as Daniel says, very cheap, it's a free of source, but they start to see that there is activity in the region, so they can at the same time start to implement measures for biocontainment, keep the disease within the farms, there were the ones that are infected, but also for the ones that are not infected, tighten up on bio-exclusion to keep the disease out. So those raise the flags that something is going on, and they can be prepared to avoid the entrance of those in the farm by having the information ahead of the game.
Very good. And just to re-highlight what Daniel said, and the data that you're seeing is you are seeing an uptick right now when you wouldn't normally see it, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. That's what's going on, specifically in the breeding herds. And that if it's occurring breeding herds, we expect that downstream goes to go for the nursery and finishing sites.
Right.
So that's a bad signal for the winter if that continues.
Right. You're seeing it where you really don't want to see it, right, in the sow herds, because that means it's going to be moving through the system, through the pipeline.
Correct.
Very good. Excellent. Well, thank you guys both for all the information today. We really appreciate it. And we really appreciate the service that you guys are providing to the industry. Very cheap, as you said, Daniel.
Thanks to Schick.
Yeah, thanks to Schick.
Yes.
So very good. Well, thanks so much again for your time today and all the information. This is Sarah Mikesell with the Pig Site.